Hey everyone! Last time I saw you, we talked about Wayne Theibaud and his artwork of pastries and cakes and really tasty treats. And today I'm going to show you how to start adding color to your cakes, no matter which kind you chose to make. The example I have here I did with crayon. Remember, we know how light affects an object that is three-dimensional. Okay, we have our highlight and we have our shadow because light cannot bend around the object. It reflects off the object. So where the light was hitting the source, I made it lighter with my crayon, and then as it got further away, I made it darker with our layering. We've talked about that before. You could do this with crayons, or you could even do this with colored pencil or paint if you have paint. Now what I also did was after I did the cake and the cake stand and the candle with crayon, I used watercolor around it. I chose this very bold black to make my cake stand out for that contrast. And if we look at the color wheel, across from purple is yellow. So I have purple and blue as my main colors here, and I chose yellow as my background, again, to help it make it stand out. Now the color choices are completely up to you, but I'm going to show you a really cool way to use marker and water to make it look like it's three-dimensional. So the only thing you need, other than your drawing, is a washable marker, and it will, most Crayolas are washable. Rose Arts are usually washable as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like this is, since this is closest, I'm going to make it lighter, and then as it gets further away, it's going to get darker. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my marker, and I'm going to add, I'm doing pink. So I'm going to color it pretty dark and pretty solid right along the edge on each side, and then I'm going to kind of press softer here with just the side. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to turn my paper around so it's easier. Pressing harder, because these are actually starting to dry out a little bit. I'm getting a little bit softer and lighter. Now you can already tell that that's starting to make it look three-dimensional. But what will really help that idea is when we start to add water with our brush. So you don't need paint. If you have paint, you can use it. But I'm going to put a little bit of white, just water here, just along the edge here. And you could probably use crayon inside here to make it resist. And then I'm going to start to bring out, and notice I'm going from the dark to the light. And what will happen is the water will activate the ink inside that marker, and it'll bring it towards the lighter area as it starts to dry. So you really want to make sure that you don't have a lot of scratchy marks in there. Okay, and then I'm going to do it on the other side too. Again, going from the dark to the light, lifting each time. And if you have glitter, you could add glitter. But again, if you only have crayons at home or colored pencils at home, we've learned many different ways to use those creatively and to make our artwork look three-dimensional. So then I would probably go let this dry and go back and add some details with crayon or marker even. Just keep in mind you want to try to make it look like a form, because this cake would be a cylinder. And so we would have our lighter area and it would get darker behind. The same thing with your plate. You could do a similar technique here to make it look like there's a shadow back here and then it's lighter up front. Or if you wanted to do just the crayon technique or just the colored pencil technique, overlapping it to make it look like it's three-dimensional. And then in here it's kind of the opposite because this is going back into the darker area, so I colored the chocolate part light around the edges and dark as I got further away. Okay, get really creative with this, guys. I really want to see some cool decorations on it and some cool coloring techniques. Don't forget to show me a picture in our grade level Flipgrid, or you can just email it right to me. Okay, I hope you guys have a great summer, and I'll see you next year. Bye.